Hi, I'm Nick Shell, your host of Fuller House Recaps. Now this is the recap of the third episode of Fuller House, entitled Funner House. Yes, Funner House. And why is it funner? Well, you know why. Because ultimately it's girls' night out, and Uncle Joey guest stars in this episode, in which he plays the really fun babysitter. Which I think is funny, and I'm going to do a separate video on it later, after I've seen all 13 episodes of Fuller House. But again, black wedding ring. He's got a wedding ring just like me. They've yet to mention his wife, but he's apparently married. So it has to be on purpose that he's wearing a wedding band, right? That's what I would assume. We'll do a separate video on that later after we watch all the episodes, just to be sure. Either way, now I'm thinking back to the first episode of Fuller House, in which Joey Gladstone was referenced as a 60-year-old, and then Joey corrected him, says 55-ish. I looked up his date of birth. Dave Coulier's actual age, he's 56. So either way, you've got this man in his mid-50s who basically destroys the house as he's babysitting. And like, we need to talk about this. We need to address this, okay? Because like, I live in a new house. We've been in this for a year now, and it looks really nice. We've kept it very well. You know, we clean every Sunday, and we're very particular about how, you know, no one walks through the door with their shoes on and all that stuff. Now, I get it. The house on Full House was probably built in the 30s or the 40s. But still, it's a nice house. And with the history of Danny Tanner, they keep this house clean. Now, in sort of a 1980s style, they just throw... There's silly string, there's slime all over the place. And then, of course, the slime in the front door. I mean, man, you have to really stretch your imagination to follow this. Now, I'm being very honest, in every recap I do of Fuller House, I'll always tell you what I don't like about it or what I had a problem with. And yeah, that's a problem. So 56-year-old Uncle Joey comes and babysits, and that's another bit of criticism I've got. So they've established he lives in Las Vegas, but he flies in to San Francisco, which, I mean, it's not just right next door. But still, he flies in to babysit, and then he just makes a huge mess and then laughs it off, literally as he walks to the door, and there's slime all over the Kimmy and DJ and Stephanie. Really? I mean, that's it? And they're thanking this guy? He's doing them a favor, and he flew all the way from Las Vegas to do that? So, again, you have to have a lot of imagination to follow this episode. With that being said, I still thought it was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed watching them fight. I enjoyed the toilet paper gun that Uncle Joey made. I like the whole slime thing in general. I can't do that on television. I don't know. You know, all that. It's fun, but so unbelievable. It almost turned the episode into more of a fantasy type of episode, because it's almost like another Miller Boyett show, Family Matters, with Steve Urkel, and he has the potion, and he turns into other people and stuff like that. I'm sorry, it just takes a major stretch of imagination to believe that Uncle Joey, a man in his mid-50s, would cause a big mess and fly there from Las Vegas. Okay, I'm sorry I've overanalyzed that, but that's the main thing I keep thinking about this episode. The main thing. Now, of course, let's talk about, I guess, the actual plot of the show, and that was this whole ladies' night out thing, and they go to this club, and there we see, I guess, Max, which I think is M-A-K-X, not DJ's son, but I guess he was her dancing partner on Dancing with the Stars. Now, granted, I've got my standards here. I will gladly and proudly watch Fuller House, but I'm not watching Dancing with the Stars. So you can correct me later in the comments if you want to tell me if that's not her real dancing partner. And I'm guessing the other Russian guy was also from the show too. Either way, I don't need to know that. Apparently, though, they were guest starring, and okay, that's cool. Because it shows off that Candace Cameron really can dance, and that's cool. I like that they brought that into the show. Something else I liked about this episode was the soon-to-be ex-husband of Kimmy Gibbler. Now, I guess his name is Hernando or Fernando or whatever, and I still don't exactly know what country he's supposed to be from. Apparently it's not Mexico. It looks like some kind of South American country. Maybe I missed it, but as of right now, I still don't know where he's supposed to be from. So it's interesting, though, that he is still in love with Kimmy Gibbler, but he's such a sleazy womanizer that he won't stay committed to her. So I thought that's interesting how for a minute you're like, oh, they're going to get back together. But no, he's still a sleazy guy who never grew up, apparently. It would have almost been more fun if they would have stayed married, because they actually, I think, made a really good couple. Of course, he had to be that typical all guys are idiots and he's just a womanizer and he cheats on his wife thing. And I get it. That's real life too. But again, man, what's up with... Seriously, can we not just have a happily married couple that has normal kids? I mean, that's the life I know, but on TV we can't have that. So again, he has to be the soon-to-be ex-husband. And, I like how at the end he throws the whole contest to let his soon-to-be ex-wife win. And I do like that. So he has some redeeming qualities in him. But yeah, can we not just be happily married on this show without somebody dying, please? Any show? Okay, so something else, and this is, don't you feel this is a bit random? Now, Macy Gray. I remember the song that she had from 1999, and I'm not going to sing it because I don't know how YouTube works with, if I were to sing the song, would I not be able to make money off this video? I haven't looked into it and really don't care. So I don't have to sing you the song I know by Macy Gray. Either way, you've seen this episode and you know she's in it, and seeing her on there was just kind of out of nowhere. If anything, wouldn't they have made the girl who sings the Full House song the guest star? I don't know. I don't keep up with modern pop music, but Carly Joe Epson, is that her name? Or Jepsen? I don't know. Wouldn't she be the guest star? But for some reason, Macy Gray was. And then randomly, too, we've got Stephanie singing again. So I'm really confused by Stephanie's career because, again, she's mid-30s. I mean, I'm almost 35 and I'm a year older than her. So she's mid-30s and she's DJing, but she sings. But it's not like she's really making money because in the next episode, spoiler alert, because for the very next episode you're about to watch that I'm about to do, I talk about how she's irresponsible with money. So we know she's not. So we know Stephanie's not really making a legitimate career, right? I mean, she's able to travel the world, but yet she's in debt. Very strange. But either way, so I'm wondering, is that really Jodie Sweetin singing the song? Because she sings the song on stage with Macy Gray. She also sings Forever with Uncle Jesse. So is that her? Is she going to be singing every episode? Or is it just a voiceover? I don't know. So I'm just having trouble with Stephanie's career. But more about that. It's almost becoming my burden for these recaps. Stephanie Tanner. This just isn't what I expected from her. She was the one I related to. Again, I'll make a separate video for that about Stephanie Tanner. About analyzing the character of Stephanie Tanner. So ultimately, I guess that's the episode for you. A very irresponsible Joey Gladstone, who's around 56 years old, flies in from Las Vegas for one night to babysit, but then he just wrecks the house and teaches the kids to be irresponsible. And there's a dance off, and then Macy Gray's there, and then Stephanie sings. So I'm confused by that episode. I liked it, of course. Again, I like this show, and I'm gonna tell you what I like and don't like about it. So, but it's just really kind of confusing. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make the next episode. Go ahead and just watch it because now you're hooked, right? I mean, you've seen 2 of my recaps, and at this point, you need to just keep watching them, and I need to keep making them. It's actually a lot of work for me to do these. I want you to know that. I don't just throw these together. I spend a lot of time in these. I gotta take notes as I'm watching, and then edit, and then take. Literally, look, I tape the notes to the camera stand. I appreciate you watching my videos. Again, I'm Nick Shell, your host of Fuller House Recaps.